Hello everyone. So today we're going to be discussing a rather sensitive topic on plant medicine and ayahuasca ceremonies and its potential hazards and cautions. So there's many people, spiritual people, patients of ours that come to us having undergone these ceremonies. And oftentimes I hear of amazing stories that's being told, stories of awakening, stories of releasing trauma, and really understanding the path that one must take. And it's amazing, And really, as someone who's dabbled and experimented in psychedelics in the past, I can definitely understand the allurement and the interest in this. However, having gone through the dedicated cultivation of energy and studying with multiple masters throughout the world, one thing is apparent. And what that is that when one takes these type of substances, it comes at a potential risk, and that risk is quite severe. Every year, the master healers that I am in communication with, there's always a number of their clients that come having their entire life destroyed from a bad dose of psilocybin, LSD, ayahuasca. And really on an energetics point, as you begin cultivating, you begin to get understanding of the subtle energy body and really how it is that we are achieving a heightened state of awareness, the crazy experiences that people have. And really what that entails is when you take these medicine, the matrices and the barriers that keep you safe in your body and keep your energy contained, it basically begins to thin out. And especially when you're on a very high dose, the energy matrix becomes completely distorted. And oftentimes there's damages and holes that's permanently burnt into the energy matrix. So what this allows people to do is basically it's an access point into seeing spirits, into seeing the higher worlds and having some of these spiritual, quote unquote, spiritual experiences. But it is at the enablement of external substance that after the fact of taking it, sometimes these holes don't close up. And the damage that these holes is done into the energy matrix of your field, it becomes permanent. And it's always, one or two of these individuals. I haven't met a single healer that can reverse energetically the damage that's done into their field. And they're living in a permanent state of schizophrenia, psychosis, and just the inability to close off their extrasensory capabilities and having a complete distortion and just overstimulus of the nervous system. I think where I'm at in my own exploration, and I always try to keep an open and non-judgmental mind, but whenever I do connect with my patients and ask their higher self for guidance and ask if these substances are appropriate for their development, the answer that I get back is always a no. It's always a no. It's not a little bit, even when exploring microdosing in these aspects, it's always a no. And ultimately, when you go into the, if you have access to teachings that we're putting out or other mystery school and inner sanctum teachings, there is a tried and proven process where you can cultivate the openness of these energy matrix. Now, the benefit of you actually cultivating the skill as opposed to taking a substance to open it up is that if you can open something by yourself, then you also learn how you can then close it up by yourself. But if you take a substance that blasts open your matrices, you don't know the mechanism of how that works, and therefore you're unable to close it yourself afterwards. So food for thought, ultimately how I explain to some of my friends who are really heavy into the shamanic stuff is basically playing with roulette. Right? Maybe you have 2 or 3 super enlightening experience, maybe 10, maybe you've been doing it and for the first 20 times, it's amazing. But it just takes that one experience that could dramatically change your karmic path in this lifetime and dramatically change the state of your well-being. So a little bit further into what really happens. So when your energy matrix opens up, essentially with this opening, a lot of the emotional trauma, a lot of your old thought patterns begin to reveal itself and it actually begins to escape and release out of your body. And this is where people experience this miraculous spiritual healing, a connection to this God source energy because they're just so open and they can experience everything. However, with this openness, one must understand that in the higher world, yes, there's entities that can help you, but likewise, there's also entities that can create drastic harm in your body. And if you don't have the discernment of how to properly protect yourself, and you don't have the ability to protect yourself when you're on these substances, then it's basically like a free-for-all. And especially in these shamanic settings where ayahuasca is administered to sometimes 10, 15, 20 individuals at the same time, and you have a practicing shaman making deals with lower astral beings and these nature spirits. In the spiritual world, there's this concept of equivalent exchange, right? So if a spirit helps you, then there's this reciprocity. And for the majority of shamanic spirits, they work with spirits on a lower vibrational spectrum. So because of this, there's always this exchange, and oftentimes either the shaman doesn't know what they're giving up. Maybe the shaman's giving up their own vital life force, or maybe they have to pay it back in another lifetime. Or maybe the deal is that you have to pay it out, whether that's in the session itself, with your own life force, maybe with future years, or maybe with a karmic imprint that is going to last for many lifetimes for you. A lot of these sessions are very messy, right? It's very unclear what the exchange is, and especially if your shaman cannot explain what the interaction and exchange is. And likewise, being able to hold space and account for all of the contracts that's being created by a dozen of entities in the room for 15, 20 people, I mean, good luck doing that, right? That's a very complicated process. And there's far easier ways to administer spiritual healing that doesn't rely on these plant medicine if the individual has access to higher realms. So I will explain how we would do healing and what really these higher realm healing entails. Before now, just take heed in this caution. I don't say this lightly, and I'm coming to you from a place of someone who, for the past 7 years, have dabbled extensively into the psychedelic realm. Knowing what I know now and working with the type of patients that I know, I stay far away from the reliance on this. So write to us, let us know if you have any questions about this. I know it's a bit sensitive, and pop culture, they're really pumping the benefits of plant medicine out. I really think it's done to an extreme without the proper initiations and understanding that's taken by actually knowing what the hell people are getting themselves into. So food for thought, and let us know in the comments below if you have any questions or if you want to talk about anything related to this. Okay, thank you.